Morning, Sully. How are you?
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
It's going good. We're up here at Holy Spirit just getting ready for the day and the night.
You got a cot over there? You staying overnight?
We should. It's going to be a long 2 days, but 7 games today, 6 games tomorrow. We're going to be up here for a while for sure.
So, Coach, tell us how this all came about. Obviously, this was one of the premier tournaments, about 20 years ago, and I know there's a long history with it, and everybody used to love it. What initially stopped it from being held?
Well, so I was a kid, growing up in that time period, late 80s, early 90s. So as a kid, I actually remember working the Classic, during the times when it was at Holy Spirit. The tournament came to an end right around the end of my high school years. I think at one point it moved back up to Philadelphia, but it came to an end. But I just look back as a kid and just think of some of the talent that I was able to watch and the environment that was created, and there was really nothing like it at the time. So, I always, stuck it in my memory bank and reflected back on it. So, as this whole thing evolved, it's just funny how sometimes things, start out of just a simple conversation. And, it started with a conversation with John Rodeo up at St. Augustine Prep last year when we had played up at the Shoot Down Cancer event. We had some discussions about us participating in a tournament that his basketball summit organization was looking to hold. Having always been fond of the Seagull Classic and obviously, Holy Spirit High School, I said to John, why don't we look at bringing back the tournament to Holy Spirit and call it the Seagull Classic? And it just kind of evolved out of that. And the next thing you know, here we are, 13 games on tap this Saturday and Sunday.
Now, Coach, what was involved with getting this thing revived? That's obviously a pretty big undertaking. You're trying to get 20 some odd teams down here for a weekend tournament. How difficult was that? How long did the process take in terms of from initial idea to actually now seeing it come to fruition?
Well, I'll tell you what, John Rodeo and his group, the Basketball Summit group, have done just a terrific job and handled all of the scheduling types of things. Steve Selby, one of the local officials, is the director of basketball operations for the tournament, and he put together just a fantastic slate of teams coming in and games being played. So, a lot of credit to those guys and the work they did behind the scenes to really put this in place.
Now, Coach, before each game, are you going to turn the lights out, have a laser show, anything like that?
Listen, we would do that in a heartbeat, but our lights take about 12 years to come back on after they go out, Sully.
That's true, yeah.
This school's been here for 50 years, right? Come on, it takes a little while to get those lights back cranked up.
That's true. I remember I was at one game where the lights went out, and it did take about 15 minutes for them to come back on.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago it was St. Joe used to do it up there. We used to have to take like a 5-minute break after warm-ups for the lights to come back on.
Oh, for the intros, right. So, Coach, as a real hoop head, this got to be an exciting weekend for you. I know there's a bunch of coaches around South Jersey who really you can just sit and talk basketball with them all day long. So this has to be a real cool event for you to see some of these guys from Linden coming in and some of those North Jersey schools, the Patrick schools. So some great competition, some coaches that have been around forever. And as a basketball guy, that's got to be a great thing for you to just enjoy this weekend. Well,
listen, if you're a basketball junkie, this is a great place to be. All day Saturday and all day Sunday, because not only are you going to see some great players, you're going to have some great coaches pass through. I look forward to sitting around in the hospitality room and talking basketball with some of these guys. So it's a great weekend of basketball. You wake up this morning, our group was up here a little after 7 o'clock this morning, but we're excited to be here and what's coming for the next 2 days.
Well, Coach, I hope you have everything set up, 3 meals a day, a hot shower for Woody Dixon. I'm sure he's going to be around there all day long.
Listen, Woody's already in here cleaning up the locker room.
He was probably in there at 5 a.m.
And listen, I don't know if there's enough food around for Woody. So we've got a lot of food here for coaches and referees and media and stuff, but I'm not sure there's enough food for him.
How cool is this, Coach, to be sort of the headlining team, the host team of a tournament of this magnitude?
Well, listen, to me, this is a great community event above anything else. Not only are we going to get great basketball, we're doing this for some real good causes. The Summit Basketball Organization is using a portion of the proceeds from today to benefit our Cape Atlantic League basketball players in scholarship format. In addition to that, there's a portion of it that's going to go to autism research. So, it's not just about basketball. It's a great community event, and it's being done for the right reasons. So all the people involved here have been just terrific and have done a great job. And I just feel privileged to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
We're talking with Jamie Gillespie, Holy Spirit boys basketball coach, talking about the Seagull Classic, which gets started here in just about 2 hours, 13 games over the span of 2 days. And, Coach, how are your players reacting? This has to be a really cool weekend for them as well. They get to see some really great teams coming in, St. Augustine Prep, talking about the Patrick School, which I believe was a Tournament Champions winner last year, Linden, perennial Group 4 power. So they get to see some really talented basketball players. I'm sure a lot of your guys are just going to be hanging around the gym all day, right?
Yeah, but listen, I think our guys are excited about the whole thing. I think one of the things we've also tried to do is just give them a little bit of the history behind the tournament and what used to exist here, and some pretty neat things. They were able to secure some of the original signage, which is hanging up in the gym. When you walk in the cafeteria, you'll see advertising posters from all of the beginning years. So there's really a historical part of this as well. So in addition to coming in and seeing high flying St. Pat's play today or tomorrow rather, I've been trying to just instill a little bit of the history behind the event for our kids. So they, for sure, are excited about being a part of it, but also being around it the next 2 days.
And Coach, I guess it's really fortuitous that you got that floor redone and the whole gym redone last year. It really makes, it leaves a good impression on the teams that are coming in to see how much Holy Spirit has done to fix up that gym.
Yeah, listen, going back to last year, all the folks that were involved in that initiative, did a great job in renovating not only our gym but our locker room. We feel like we've got a great facility here for this type of event. It's not too big, but it's got a great atmosphere, but it seats enough people where you always feel like, there's a good environment here. So, the facility looks great. We're excited to have everybody coming in, and we're looking forward to a great weekend of basketball.
Excuse me. And, Coach, before we let you go, who are some of the big names that South Jersey basketball fans might know of old-time guys that, some real talented guys that played in this game? I'm sure there's been guys that have went on to great college careers and maybe even the NBA.
I mean, listen, when I think back as a kid, we were just looking at some of the posters the other day. You had the local guys like Willie Glass and some of those guys, Lou Rowe, some of those kids playing in the event. But you also had some of the guys like Bobby Hurley's son, went on to play at Duke, played a little bit in the NBA. Milt Wagner was here. There was some during the times I was here, guys like Chris Corciani, who played at NC State, Rodney Monroe. So there was a lot of great players, and there's a huge history. One of the things they've done, if you're here, pick up a program. Billy Donovan was here playing. So you see all these guys that not only, played here, but went on to play in college. Some of them the NBA, college coaches today, pro coaches today. Pick up a program when you're here because it gives you a great background on the history, but also outlines some of the great players who have played here.
Coach, what was your best memory? I'm sure when you were about 11, 12 years old working this event, you must have been in awe of some of these guys that are 6'6", 6'7", dunking, all that kind of stuff. It must have made a real impression on you as a kid who loved basketball.
Well, listen, I remember being a freshman here at Holy Spirit High School, and we were assigned to work the tournament. And I was assigned to St. Nicholas of Tolentine. One of the great things for me was I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan. And one of their guys, Brian Reese, ended up he was going to North Carolina. So to me, to be assigned to a team and take care of them when they got here and all that kind of stuff, and know a guy that was playing and it was going to the college that I love was North Carolina. It was pretty neat. So that was, I think, one of the great memories that I left with. But I mean, just seeing the level of talent was just something. If you love basketball, it really is a neat thing to see.
Good stuff, Coach. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know you got a lot of work to get done. We'll see you over there in just about 2 hours or so. And congrats on getting the tournament back here. I'm sure it's going to be a great weekend for everybody.
Thanks, Sully. We appreciate it. We'll see you later today.
All right. Thanks, bud.
Take care.
That was Jamie Gillespie, Holy Spirit boys basketball coach.